Welcome to Monology. Today, I have a beautiful guest with me. I can describe this guest in many ways. My why, my backbone, my heartbeat. Before I get carried away, I'm gonna allow her to introduce herself as my loving little sister.
Hello, my name is Denira. I am 18, and I'm Juwan's first girl guest on his podcast. And yeah, I'm excited. I've wanted to be on the podcast for a while now, so I'm excited to see where things go.
Excited to see where things go. So, as y'all know, we're 6 years apart. Some of y'all know I have it tattooed on me. So, who knows where this podcast could go? It could go many places. I told her I have 3 questions ready for me. She may have more. They may change. Who knows? But my first question is, seeing when you was a little, you in college now. So, how's the college experience, truthfully?
I would say a little bit of independence, a little bit of freedom, but it's still I still can't believe that I am in college, and I've been focusing a lot on, education, a lot of studying, and putting a lot of academic pressure on myself because I want to do well. I've also hung out with a few friends and kind of balanced, studying and taking time for myself to relax and, have a little fun.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, the experience it's been pretty good so far.
Pretty good so far.
What?
So as some of y'all may not know, she's very talented. She sing, she write, she do poetry. Anything she acts. She know how to crown command, which is crazy. I think any person who know how to crown command, not trustworthy. But she trustworthy.
Right. I don't crown command to
Yes,
get my
you do.
way.
Yes, you.
Not to get my way.
No, not that. But I'm saying you can crown.
Oh, okay.
I'm not saying crown command to get your way. I'm just saying if somebody was cry right now, you can cry. But I'm not gonna put you on the spot. Even though I want to love it, but I'm not going to.
Just practicing every day in the mirror, and then tears will fall. Not even face, just if you stare long enough.
I know. I seen you do it.
Mm-hmm.
Straight face. Tears should start coming down. What? But yeah, so college, which is crazy to me. Seeing you,
we're in college together.
Be bad. Yeah, we're in college together. I've been in college about 10 years now. And, but I graduate soon. So, as a person that was, homeschooled and, very sheltered, a person going into college, what would be your advice to, even though you only been there a couple months?
Right.
What would your advice be to somebody that's sheltered and new to, meeting new friends and new places? And what would be your advice? Because your advice is young.
Mm-hmm.
So I think your advice is probably important because you're living in the now,
right.
know?
Well, I'm still learning,
Mm-hmm.
but I guess the best advice I could give would be, just find who you click with. You're not going to click with everybody, and that's fine. Just find, whether it's one person or 3, just find somebody that you feel comfortable enough to show every side of you. And y'all could be friends for a day, 2 weeks, or forever. So it's just really finding who you mesh with and seeing, where the friendship or relationship goes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with that because some of my closest friends I met in college. And I still got some from high school, but the closest ones I met in college. Or we got I knew them already, but we got super close. We got even closer when, I was in college.
Mm-hmm.
And so I agree with that part, y'all may be cool for a little bit, and y'all not cool no more. Y'all may be cool for forever.
Exactly.
So, you got a question for me? One of
Yes. Let me get my notes app out.
Oh, shoot.
Okay.
I told her she can't ask anything,
When do you feel the most like yourself?
I didn't say anything. The feel. When do I feel the most like myself?
Mm-hmm.
When I'm alone. Like, I don't know. I just love being alone. Like, I never minded being alone. Obviously, everybody wants somebody to, but I enjoy my free time. Go fishing, lifting, basketball. The second, when I'm with, family. And then, yeah, that's really about it. And like that question, I like to take it a little deeper. Like, I'm always like myself, but when I just feel more like myself is when I'm by myself or with people that I love, dear, close. So yeah, fishing. Things is just quiet. I just like quiet.
Yeah.
That's why everybody be like, "You're always up."
The world is quiet at night.
It's quiet and it's peaceful, and like most nights I go by our pond and read my Bible and sit. And the other night, I was out there, and they're doing construction, like building a new building. I don't know what they was drilling, but it started smelling like straight doo-doo. It stunk so bad. So yeah, it's a good question. That's a good question.
Another one?
You can go ahead, go for it.
Alrighty.
You know what? Before you ask, I had a feeling that this is my podcast. When she asked me a question, it's probably going to turn out her being the interviewer and I being the interviewee, which is okay. It's my sister, I don't care.
I mean, we could take turns.
No, it's okay. Go ahead. I don't mind.
Okay. If you could talk to your younger self or give your younger self a piece of advice, what would you say?
Younger self. My younger self, what advice would I give myself? I would tell younger Juwan that it'll be okay, that seasons are important and seasons don't last for forever, and that, any type, relationships or, people that you love, no matter like how it ended or what happened, whether it's mom, dad, siblings, relationships, business, jobs, no matter how it ended, it was for a reason. Like the purpose was bigger than the outcome,
Yeah.
Whether it put you down, whether it was bad, it had a reason, it had a purpose, and that it will be okay after. And then the second I would just give myself is, I know it's hard because you're younger. Like, even if I could go back and I know what I know now, I think it'd be hard for me to not be angry. Because I'm not angry now, but I'm not like the opposite.
Right.
Like I'm just in that middle space.
Healing from it.
Yeah. Dealing with it, instead of just tell myself, that it'd be okay, try not to be so angry or, not saying like I didn't have anger issues or, temper tantrums, but like I was angry, like short leashed, things bothered me a lot. That's one thing I would say too, is I think that I would say express my emotions more in a different way. Like if I was feeling, when I was younger, any emotion I really had for real, it would come off as like I'm mad or angry. Like if I was sad or something not mad, it would come off as if I'm mad or angry. And I would just tell my younger self, like, if you sad, be sad. Like you don't have to cover it up, or put this mask on. So yeah, I just, tell myself that it'll be okay. Everything has a purpose, and don't be so angry, kid. Don't be so angry, So yeah, that's what I tell myself, Now I want to ask you, us growing up together, and now you have, younger siblings. The dynamic is a little different, but Like, what do you think the difference is being like the younger sibling and the older sibling? Because most of my life I've been the older sibling. Like I didn't have older siblings. I am the oldest.
Yeah. Being the younger child is more like carefree. Like you just, I guess, you focus more on yourself and you do what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't have to worry about, taking care of or helping take care of another person.
Mm-hmm.
Only yourself. Whereas, the older sibling, you kind of have to look out for your younger siblings, help out where you can. And it's just different. Like, little kid, they can do what they want.
Yeah.
Whether it's good or bad, and like the older sibling has to make sure whatever they do,
it's good.
It's good, yeah. Or else it'll fall onto them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which one do I like better? Being the younger sibling. Yeah. Looking back on how I was when I was little, I was doing the most, but like you're young, you don't know any different until you grow up and realize. But
doing the most.
Yeah.
Nara she was so good and then so bad. How this? We still going. But, and then she was good, bad. Yeah, but, yeah. Being the older sibling, you go outside, you gotta watch them. Like, it's just crazy to think, though, you watch your younger siblings, they just, like you said, carefree. They just outside. You like, oh, I'm outside. Where they at? Right. Are they over there? Now you back there. The older siblings just, me personally, it was a lot of responsibility on me early, watching you alone. When I go to my dad's, watch them. Not really alone, but it'd be different. Like, when I got a little older, we got to go to the park. Who in charge? Me. Mm-hmm. If somebody get hurt or what happened, this will happen. Now, if they don't like what they heard, guess who in trouble? Mm-hmm. Me. So. But I'm glad I was the older sibling. I think I liked it, because I always felt like, I know myself. If anybody in charge, I'm just glad it's me, So.
Yeah. I think I have a little bit of a advantage with being the younger and the older because I know both sides of it. Mm-hmm. And being the older sibling also helps with, I guess, preparing me on how to handle kids. Because if I never was an older sibling, then I would have been kind of clueless on when I have to take care of kids, whether they're my own or someone else's kids.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. 6 years apart. I never was like, Mom, can you have another kid? She's like, well, yeah. How some kids, like, when I was asking for a sibling, like, in my mind, I didn't care. But, like,
if it was a boy or girl?
Yeah, but, like, I didn't care. But in reality, like, I wanted, like, somebody I could play with, like, rough. Mm-hmm. So, like, I wanted a brother, but, like, I wasn't like, oh, I want a brother. Mm-hmm. It was just like, I just want another sibling. And then Ira came out to be like a brother anyway. We play football, wrestle, bust my lip, play Barbie a couple times,
I just wanted to be like Big Bro.
Yeah.
But I was still girly though.
Yeah, for sure. You wasn't like you wasn't like a tomboy. You was just like
I was a girly girl who wanted to be just as good as the guys.
Yeah, and you was sometimes. Mm-hmm.
Little track star,
little fast. And then you got about 6 foot. Start growing fast. Mm-hmm. No, not 6 foot. She ain't taller than me. Almost. Not quite though.
I need to grow a little bit more.
Put some heels on.
Yeah, then I'll be 6 foot.
Yeah, probably a little taller. And then another question I was gonna ask is, when did the concept of like life click? Like, some people like they just, going with the motions and the flows. You've been, growing up the way you did, remembering the stuff you do remember. Then, you know, it's coming into foster care, you know, different type of world, and then you getting older, you know, going to school for a little bit, and then being homeschooled, and now you're going to college, you know, going through like your emotions and, you know, your bad times, and, you know, when did it click, like, dang, life is full of, like, this is life, like, not saying like this is like it forever, like this is like your reality, but like life can suck sometimes, life can be good.
Different emotions.
Yeah.
I would say between the ages of 12 and 14.
12, 14.
Mm-hmm.
Was there anything like if it's deep, you ain't gotta, but like, was it something that just like, boom, did you wake up, or was there like an emotion or something said to you, like, boom, click, this what happened, like this life, like, dang, this for real?
When I got adopted.
Okay. Yeah, I remember that day too.
And it's not necessarily that I got adopted, but just coming to realization, like the hopes of when we were in foster care, the hopes of
going home
multiple times and not going, like being young, I thought that would just be like a constant thing. It wouldn't just like end, right? So then when it did end, it was just like, that's when I realized that, you know, life can change at any point. You can lose someone you love at any point, and sometimes, majority of the times, it is out of your control, and life happens to you, and you can either let it build you or destroy you. And it did destroy me, but, you know, you gotta keep going and build yourself up, because there's more things to come. You can't just stay in a dark place forever.
Yeah. That's true. I like how you put that right there.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'd say for me, like, when life, like, clicked, I feel like I had a lot of moments where life clicked. Like, I say, like, not necessarily click, but different phases. Like, when you was born, like, my mind went straight from, like, usually I'm outside by myself. Like, you know, you was young, so I'm outside, you know, 5, 6 by myself. Like, just check in. Like, 6 years old, I'm outside by myself. So, like, then you was born, it was like, you know, like, dang, we're not getting older. Like, I remember I was start crying. I was mad at your dad and the doctors because they talking about I gotta go home. What you mean I gotta go home? I can't watch my sister be born. And then I remember they came, put up, and I seen you and stuff. And then, like, ever since, it was like, it ain't just me no more, you know. And, like, I had other siblings, but I didn't see them all the time, you know. And then as we got older, it's just, you know, that's just how it was. And then I say life clicked 5th grade. Well, I probably say, like, the second time we moved. Foster care, I was like, dang, like, it's just the reality. Like, we move a lot, you know. And then I would say, as far as, like, the realization, like, dang, as I got older, was freshman year of high school. Freshman year, I don't know. That was, like, the first time I'd actually been, you know, in the dumps. Like, very dark, you know. And then after that, you know, I had my moments as I got older, you know, dark times, other, you know, great times, and, you know, life changing, you know, experiences, or, you know, things like that. You know, so I say life actually, like, clicked, boom, probably, like, freshman in high school. And then I think mine's was like boom, 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 like. And then I say, like, the big one was, you know, I'm not gonna get into it, but, you know, not going back home, like, that day in the, you know, that day. That's when I was like, I feel like ever since that day, it's been, you know, like, dang, okay, cool, but, you know, it got living hard, you know, so, yeah.
Mhm.
Life keep going though. You right. You gotta build yourself back up.
Yeah.
Sometimes life, God do things in our lives to help us find our purpose, or get closer to Him, or give us a little wake up call.
Yeah.
So,
For a while, I did always wonder why certain things happen to people. Like, everybody goes through something. Just sometimes things are harder, or situations are worse than other people. But I think God give those situations to people for the ones that He think are strong enough for it. And as much as that does hurt, there's a reason behind it. And
hold it, keep going.
One day, all the pain and the happiness, every emotion that we feel one day, it builds our story, it builds our character. And if we didn't go through the things that we went through, we wouldn't be who we are today.
Right. Agreed. That's true. I always think like nobody perfect, A lot of people like, man, I don't got emotions. I try to shut out my emotions. I get it. You still feel them, even though you try not to show them. And life would suck not feeling nothing.
Yeah. And you shutting off your emotions is feeling an emotion.
Yeah. And even if I still think when people say I don't feel nothing, you feel something. Like I feel like when people say I don't feel nothing, it's all their emotions into one. And they just try to keep it there. So whatever that emotion is, you're feeling it, So, sure. Got another question? Give it your best shot.
I feel like I might know the answer to this one, but...
Well, it's for them.
What's a moment that changed the way you see life?
The moment. Okay. So you and me give them an answer of like a little in depth, or just a broad answer?
You can do whatever. It's your podcast.
I'll give them both.
Okay.
What was your question again? A moment that happened in my life that made me change
your view of life.
My view of life. Well, when I was, I don't know however old I was, 16 that day in the DCS office that day. And then another one is probably when we was the second to last shelter we stayed in Ohio. It just changed my perspective because it was so many type of different people in there. Like,
was it the one I played in the living room with the box TV and Santa Claus came that one time?
No, I don't think so. This one was same day. It was before we moved into that house. With the ceiling,
I think that was the one.
When the ceiling fell down.
Yeah, I think that's the one.
When Santa claimed you sat on Santa's lap.
We took family pictures.
That's not that one.
Yeah. Where that lady?
That was Ohio though, but different part of Ohio. Yeah.
I remember
that was one. Before. That was before.
That was the first one, not the second one.
Yeah. But it changed because it was so many different type of families in there, and so I remember specifically, it was this white family. They had 3 kids, and then it was a couple, and then another couple was in there, and they were black, I think, and we weren't allowed to play with them kids because their parents had HIV, and everybody was like, stay away from them kids, and da-da-da-da, and, mommy taught me about all that stuff earlier, so, that's just, severe, and I just felt bad, and I was like, dang, they gotta suffer because of their parents, the chances of it, I don't know how the context, but, the kids was young, probably like one was like 4, I think the boy was like 8 or 9, and I was like, dang, and it was sad, and I remember mommy saying, don't y'all play with them, they da 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 da, and I get it, like that's especially in a shelter, it's not that sanitary, it's dirty, and so it just throw more on top of the fire,
right?
And like I said, dang, like life could be like very cruel, like, and like obviously I had many experiences before, but and as I got older, I got more quieter because we moved a lot. So I've always been observant, but like that time it was just like, dang, because it was just more on the kids. Like that just changed my whole perspective on life. Like that's why, I want to do something with kids, like help kids. That's one of the main reasons right there, because I feel like especially children, I feel like all people should be loved, through their mistakes or through things that happen, like them kids can't help that if they did like that their parents was like that's not their fault, like them kids should be loved, even the parents should be loved, like I feel like now I feel like everybody deserves love. Now there's some people who just do bad, now that's your choice, I ain't gonna not love you, but just
right from a distance,
yeah, you want bottled water, you go, but I just feel like that's them two things click. But the one that happened that day when I was like 16, that just like that was the one.
The icing on the cake.
Stamped, sealed, delivered. That was the one. One day I may be open enough to share it to y'all, that. But some people know, some people don't. So yeah, that was, So it's a long time ago, about 8 years ago. That one. Then the shelter was a little before that, probably like 13, 14.
I think I actually do remember the place now.
Yeah, because we had like the little playground in the back of the building. We come in, it's like, you remember we had to walk downtown?
Wait, how old was I?
So when I got here, I was 15?
Mm-hmm.
So you was 9, 8, probably like 7 or 8. You was 7 or 8, because that was the last shelter we stayed in before we moved here. Because after that shelter, we moved into that house where the ceiling fell down.
Before we came here?
Yeah.
We lived in those apartments before we came here.
Mm-mm.
Oh, you're talking about the first time?
Yeah, I'm talking about
the first time we came to Tennessee.
Oh, no. Oh, you right. I'm tripping.
Yeah, this was like, what?
I'm tripping. I keep forgetting about the other part in Ohio. We moved to 3 different parts. No, I'm saying, okay, so you remember this shelter, we moved to the house that the ceiling was falling down, the water was black.
Mm-hmm.
And then we went to another part in Ohio, Fremont.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm talking about that time, the time before we moved to Fremont.
After that house, we moved to the shelter, then we went to those apartments.
And then after them apartments, we moved here.
Here, yeah. After that house, we moved back to that shelter with that lady.
What lady?
It was like near,
After them apartments, we moved here.
I'm saying before the apartments. When we lived in the shelter.
Mm-hmm.
It was the apartments with that lady. But we were only there for like a short amount of time.
Oh, yeah. Those 2 different apartments.
Yeah, I know.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. We stayed in the shelter in that place, too, though. We stayed in a lot of shelters, y'all. Mm-hmm. A lot. Like, I always crack jokes with people. I'd be like, I'm really dumb for real. I done missed a lot of school. We done moved so many times. I done missed a lot of school.
Mm-hmm.
Like, people be like, some people like, how many schools you been to? I just say 22 plus, because I don't know.
Right.
Like, I got to sit here and now. I just say 22 plus. Because I get to 22, and I be like, yeah, 22. Oh, this one. So I just say 22 plus.
Yeah, I remember one time, there was this girl who was new to the school. I showed her around, then we left. Then we went back. When I went to Atkinson.
Mm-hmm.
And then the girl, Maya, who lived, like, down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, then she tried to show me around. And I literally showed her around the year before.
She don't remember. But, yeah, we lived a lot of places. A lot of shelters, a lot of traveling, a lot of lost stuff,
Greyhound buses.
Greyhounds, mega buses, Sleeping on the, man. We bring that up part 2, part 2. Wrap it up. Any other questions? Or,
I think I got one more.
Go ahead.
Okay. If you knew you had 1 year left to live, what would you do differently?
What would I do differently? If I know I had 1 year left?
Yeah, what would you do differently, or what would you like to accomplish?
If I had 365, I would try to love my family. That sounds bad, don't it? Like, I would just try to see all my family all the time and just help as many people as I can. Like, I wouldn't even care about myself. Like, obviously, but like, I just try to spend time with my family.
Create a lot of memories as you can.
Just help, the homeless, the youth, and I feel like in that 300, I try to be so tired. That 360 day come, I'm just, because I just, what?
Just laying back. I'm ready.
Like, and I believe that. I feel like, and like, it's crazy because, like, obviously I come around more because I don't have basketball.
Right.
I find family, very important. I do need to do better, but it's just like the way we grew up, like, oh, you can't talk to this family member, or, and my family dynamic is weird. Like, I don't have a lot of family that check on me all the time. Like, I don't, and that's fine. That's just where I come from. And most of the time, any family member I reach out to, I'm the one that's always reaching out.
Right.
Like, it's never, hey, just, I get it every blue moon, but most of the time we talk, it's me. Like, and I used to be like, I wonder if I ain't text them or call them how long get a life too short for that, man. Like, if I love you, I mean just, when I'm thinking about you, get you a little call or text, and if you don't call or text me, that ain't my problem.
Right.
That don't mean you don't love me. You probably just got something else going on, or that's the way you grew up, or, so it ain't, like, I ain't gonna feel no different because, you don't really communicate with me. That's cool. I'm gonna communicate with you because I love you. I love you. Even if that person don't even love me, I love you, and that's just, like, I'm like that with everybody, it's friends, siblings, There's even some people who, like, betrayed me or, did things to me to, like, hurt me or mess up what I got going on, or, and I still love them. Like, they need me, I'm right there, even though there's, pain involved, or, I'm hurt, or, I can't just watch people just suffer, especially if I love them. Like, like, you hurt me, but I love you, though, they need me, I'm right there, even if I don't get it in return. I used to be like, nah, not, and I still do it, though, but, like, in my brain, I'll be like, nah,
right.
they, whoop, but I still do it now. I still do it. It ain't mean, like, that's just the type of person I am,
Yeah.
Even with the people that I hurt, it's people that I hurt. They need me, I'm still right there. Like, it ain't no shame. I pray they forgive me. I pray for forgiveness for myself. I still be right there, So, yeah, I just try to love everybody to my fullest. Even more, because that just put emphasis, like, boy, you finna die in a year. Alive.
No, yeah. And everybody deserves, like, a little piece of love every day. Whether it's, I like your outfit.
Yeah.
They feel seen.
It's the simple things,
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like the way the world is sucks, to be honest. It's a worldly world right now, I tell all my, homeboys, man, I tell them, bro, I just got done reading woo. I'm reading this right now, or I got a couple homeboys, they straddling, trying to, and I'm not judging them. I'm just going to encourage them. A world do a lot of judging, or they got their standards. I do not care about worldly standards. That's like, everybody say, like, no matter, like, friendships, blood, relationships, marriages, whatever. It's like, oh, if that person hurt you, they didn't love you. Everybody want perfect love. Love is not perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Love is not perfect. Like, and it's, but the world just so, got they sayings, and it's just a worldly world we live in. So, I tell a lot of people, read their Bible, or, I try to do my best, and I ain't perfect. I'm imperfect myself. So who am I to sit there and judge somebody because, going out or saying this or doing that. All I can do is, hey man, read this, or why you do that, or just ask them why. Why? What make you want to do that? They sit down, break it to them, and I understand. I sit there, pray for them, and be like, look, don't do that. Like I tell a couple of my homies, like, but a party in life is not it. Like, what you go party for? Get drunk, talk to girls, for what? What's your reason? I know you're not looking for your lady. Like, you say you're a believer, right?
She's not in a bar.
Like, and I'm just saying, like, a man, you ready to get married? Or you not going out. You're not going to get drunk. You're not going to, you know what I'm saying? So It's just a lot of things, And I was once, that guy going out, getting drunk, looking for girls out at the bar, So, but you can ask anybody. I ain't never really been that judgmental. Now, it's stuff I'm like, I don't know about that.
Right.
But I still, I'm open with all arms, Like I tell people, I'm really a therapist. Like people call me all the time. And I love it because that's what I'm here for. Like I want that, Like you my therapist. You my therapist. I don't really, like the stuff I be wanting to talk about for real. I don't talk to my homeboys about it. They get like surface level stuff. Yeah. When I call you, that's the stuff I really be wanting to talk about. And they don't even be a lot. I want y'all to know something. This summer, I've cried the most I've cried to put together in my lifetime. I cried to her one time. I think twice. Crying. And it feel good to cry,
It does, yeah. It hurts in the moment, but after you're done crying, it's like I needed that.
Yeah, so. I'll be going on tangents. Sorry about my tangent. Actually, I'm not sorry.
Let them cook.
So, to wrap it up, I always tell my guests, leave the people with a message or anything that's on your heart and, your spirit to say,
Okay, I think what the world needs is more love. Everyone deserves to feel seen and heard and not to be judged or be, ashamed. So just love someone a little harder. Show them that you care for them because we're all doing this thing called life and we need to have people there with us to navigate through it. So just treat everyone nicely and love each other a little harder.
That's her message. And we appreciate everybody tapping in. And thank you for watching Monology with the perfect guest, my favorite guest, my favorite person. And we love y'all, and Monology out.
Make sure y'all subscribe.